Students, now let us start our next topic, that is balancing chemical equations. How to balance chemical equations? If you have remembered in our ninth standard, we have studied law of conservation of mass. That law states that mass can neither be created nor be destroyed in a chemical reaction. That is, the total mass of the elements present in the products of a chemical reaction has to be equal to total mass of the elements present in the reactants. Okay. In other words, if we speak, the number of atoms present in the reactants should be equal to number of atoms present in the products. So here we have to first understand the recall that what do you mean by mass? Mass means the number of atoms present in that elements. For example, mass of water. In water we have two atoms of hydrogen and one atom of oxygen. So mass of the water is 3 because 2 2 atom of hydrogen plus 1 atom of oxygen. 2 plus 1 is 3. Likewise, in every element, number of atoms indicates the mass of that element. Okay, so according to the law of conservation of mass, the number of atoms present in the reactants in chemical equation, as we have learned in our previous topic, that in chemical equations there may be two reactants, maybe two, more than two. In some cases, if you go to higher studies in your bachelor's, in your graduation and in your post graduation, if you pursue the post graduation in chemistry, then you will be going through the reactions in which we will be having more than 20 to 30 reactants. Okay, and big reactants, compound reactants you will have. Compound means more than one elements present in that compound. So in every reaction, in every element, you will be having number of atoms and number of molecules. So the number of atoms present in that element indicates the mass of that atom, the mass of that element. So it first you need to know that, you need to be aware that in any chemical reaction, number of atoms present in the reactants should and must be equal to number of atoms present in the products. Okay, so let us learn how to balance the chemical reaction by taking a simple example as given in your textbook. If you concentrate on that, on equation 1.3, you will be having zinc plus sulfuric acid. Okay, we are reacting zinc with sulfuric acid. We are adding zinc with sulfuric acid. Concentrate here there is no oxygen present, but so it means that this chemical reaction is isolated, it is not exposed to air. For the point, zinc plus sulfuric acid, if you add zinc with sulfuric acid, or if you react zinc with sulfuric acid, or if you uh, undergo the chemical reaction of zinc with sulfuric acid, it gives rise to zinc sulfate plus hydrogen as a product. Now concentrate here. In products, we are getting two products. In our previous example, we have learned magnesium plus oxide give rise to magnesium oxide. That was in that equation. In product side, we was having only one element, that is magnesium oxide. But here in this equation, we are having two elements. One is zinc sulfate and another one is hydrogen. So likewise, if you as you go promoting to your higher classes, if you take, if you if you take specialization in chemistry, then you will be undergoing with that type of reactions in which you will be having plenty of products. Okay, So you have to balance all that equation. So for doing that, this topic is basic for you. From here itself, from this topic itself, you have to be perfect in balancing chemical equations. So let us start. Zinc plus hydrogen sulfate as, or sulfuric acid that give rise to zinc sulfate plus hydrogen. If you observe here, you will be having, you will be concluding that you have one atom of zinc which is reacted with H2SO4 hydrochloric acid, and in hydrochloric acid you have two atoms of hydrogen and four items of oxygen and one item of sulfate. Got the point? In H2SO4 you have two atoms of hydrogen, four atoms of oxygen, and one atom of sulfate. If you list out in column wise, you will be getting the table as shown in your chapter, in your textbook. Just list out that, just tabulate that in the table by making three columns: one of elements, second of number of atoms in reactants, third of number of atoms of in products. Right? Name that columns as first column as element, second column as number of atoms in reactants, third column as number of atoms in products. Okay. So what all elements you have in your equation? You have zinc, you have hydrogen, you have sulfur, and you have oxygen. So list out that all elements in the elements column, and in the number of atoms in reactants column, list out the atoms of elements present in the reactants. In reactant side, you have one element of zinc, two element of hydrogen, one element of sulfate, and four element of oxygen. And in the column of product side, and in the product side, you focus that you observe that you have one atom of zinc, one item of sulfate, four items of oxygen, and two atoms of hydrogen. So, if you observe the columns of number of atoms in reactants and number of atoms in products, you will be concluding that number of atoms in product. So, these give the conclusion that the equation zinc plus sulfuric acid give rise to zinc sulfate plus hydrogen is balanced chemical equation. Balanced chemical equation. These type of element equations we call as balanced chemical equation. Got the point? Got the point? Understood? Any doubt? So let us take another example. As the number of atoms of each element is the same on the both sides, so equation 1.3 is balanced. So let us try to balance an imbalanced equation. For this, let us take an equation of iron plus water that gives rise to iron oxide plus hydrogen. In equation 1.4 of in a textbook, if you add iron to water, okay, so or if you react both the iron and water, so the reaction that undergoes between iron and water give rise to iron oxide and hydrogen. Okay, and now chemical formula of iron is Fe, chemical formula of water is H2O, and chemical if you add Fe plus H2O, that gives rise to Fe3O4. Fe3O4 is the chemical formula of iron oxide. Okay, iron 3,2 oxide plus H2 is for chemical formula of hydrogen. So Fe plus H2O gives rise to Fe3O4 plus O4 plus H2. Now observe that the number of atoms in reactant side is not equal to number of atoms in product side. Right? For this, let us draw one more table with three columns, same as first column as element, second column as number of atoms in reactants, and third column as number of atoms in products.